You thought I was going to make you wait another week, didn't you? I promised Mira I would do it today. So, let's go. Oh, gotta warm up my voice. Falcon and Sparrowson stand inside the marble portico of the Palais de Justice, awaiting the opening of the Tribunal de Grande Instance. We could wait for the small tribunal instead, right? Are you nervous, Falcon? Yes. Of course I'm nervous. We're woefully underprepared for this case. 2 days. We only had 2 days to prepare. How are we expected to get anything done in that time frame? Calm your feathers, Falcon. We can do this. Monsieur Falcon, Petite Sparrowson, is there anything you need me to do? No, we've got a handle on things. Falcon was just telling me how confident he was feeling about the case. That's wonderful. I just know you two will pull through. Let's move it along, fellows. I'll be watching from the inside. Do your best for me, Monsieur Falcon. Well, we will. Are we ready? Yeah, we're ready. She has to watch from the inside. There's nowhere else she could watch from. What are you? No, that's a cat. What are you?
All right, settle down, everyone. Settle down. Is everybody here?
J.J. Falcon, present. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Rupert Rabington, present. The ready is prosecution, Your Honor. Oh, darn, that's not it. Oh gosh, where are my notes? Ha! I knew it. Knew what? Rupert and I went to Paris Law School together. He was in all of my classes. Oh, was he smart? No. He always scored second lowest marks in the class. I can only assume that he bumbled through the final exams on the luck of his 2 rabbit's feet. Unless he's improved considerably, you might already have this trial in the bag. That's good to know. Say, Sparrowson, if Rupert scored the second lowest marks in the class, then who scored the lowest? I choose to exercise my right to not self-incriminate. Here it is. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
Are the jury all present?
All present and accounted for, Your Honor. That hippo has his tongue out. You hippie hippo. An ostrich. What? Buzzard. That's not good. Spaniel. Cockatiel. Goat. But that. Okay, anyway. Hey, Falcon. I thought there were only 6 members of the jury for cases like this. Why do I count 8? Because you have too many fingers. Oh, those 2 birds with the funny hats are assessors, the associate judges. So the buzzard and the magpie? I have no idea.
Everything seems to be in order, so let us begin. The court is now in session for the trial of Dame Caterline de Meow.
My kitty cat is now asleep. No, wait, she's waking up. She's waking up for the trial. Excellent.
Prosecution, you may call your first witness to the stand.
Oh gosh, are we there already? Okay, I choose to call the officer in charge of the murder investigation, Inspector Volierti, to the witness stand.
Inspector Volierti, please approach the stand and recite the oath.
As you will, Your Honor. I swear to speak without hatred and without fear. Wait a second. He's missing an eye and both of his arms? Why does he have a cane? Anyway, I swear to speak without hatred and without fear, to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Monsieur, Inspector, please state your, name and occupation for the record.
My name is Inspector Giusti Volierti. I have a very ironic name. I am a servant to the law, a scourge to the gutter rats that plague this city. I have enforced the law for over 20 years, and I shall continue until I bring in the infamous Viridian Killer to justice.
Viridian Killer. Green Killer? Is that Viridian? We'll have to look that up, because I don't remember.
My path begins 18 years ago. Let's stick to the questions, Inspector. Of course, Your Honor.
Oh, great. I was hoping we could get one of those bumbling, cuddly officers, but instead we're stuck with a lawful goody two-shoes. I bet this guy would turn in his own mother if he saw her littering.
Inspector, is it true that you are the lead investigator on this case?
That is correct. I was also among the first to arrive at the scene of the crime.
Because you're a weird chicken that has no arms? And then perhaps you could walk us through what you witnessed upon your arrival?
Absolutely. Just after 7:30, we were alerted and brought to the scene by the housemaid of Baron Rargirl. At the scene of the crime, we found Dame Caterline de Meow. She was standing over the corpse of Monsieur Grenouille with his blood on her paws.
Well, that sounds like an open and shut case, in my humble opinion. No more questions, Your Honor.
Bloodied paws? Nobody told me that detail. What? Yes, we did. Keep it together, Falcon. You're about to be given the opportunity to cross-examine the witness. That's your opportunity to find flaws in the inspector's testimony.
Of course, I know this.
You may begin your cross-examination, Monsieur Falcon.
Bum bum bum. Cross-examine the witness to find flaws in his testimony. Select a key phrase you find suspicious, and Falcon will press the witness for information. Ask the right questions to bring the truth to light. Avoid pressing for pointless details. The judge and the jury don't like having their time wasted. Select a statement to question. Bloody paws. Inspector, you say Dame Caterline had blood on her paws?
Correct. Blood clung to her fur like guilt to a convict.
Whose blood was it? I guess, whose blood was it? I just said that.
Ha! What a question. It was Monsieur Grenouille's, of course.
How can you be so sure? I object. This line of questioning is absurd. There was only one murder victim that night, Falcon. The blood on Dame Cateline's paws could only have belonged to one person, Monsieur Grenouille. Judge, Falcon's trying to delay the trial by asking pointless questions.
I'm afraid the prosecution may have a point, Monsieur Falcon. Do you have any reason to suspect that the blood belonged to someone other than Monsieur Grenouille?
I do, Your Honor. Actually, I have more than suspicion. I have evidence that the blood on Dame Cateline's paws had nothing to do with the murder. This is foolish time wasting, Falcon. If the blood on Dame Cateline's paws didn't come from the victim, then where did the blood come from? Caroline confessed to stealing silverware. Oh, there we go. Bloody steak. On the evening of the murder, Dame Caterline ate a bloody rare steak.
Is this true, Monsieur Abington?
Well, in a manner of, speaking, I suppose steak may have been, on the, menu.
Where did it come from?
I'm sorry, this is... They're all talking animals. I mean, a cow would be a person. Where did steak come from?
Are humans cattle to these people? Oh, that's horrifying.
Or maybe ants are really big and have meat inside them.
All right. Then, Inspector, would you acknowledge the ants? Then, Inspector, would you acknowledge the possibility that the blood on the lady's paws did not belong to the victim, but to the stake? Well.
Wait, don't answer that, Inspector.
It is a possibility.
No.
You gained a little favor with the jury. So, Inspector Foliarti, is it possible that you arrested an innocent bystander simply for being a messy eater?
Now, hold on, just 1 minute, Falcon. You are overlooking something quite crucial. Dame Cataline is an elegant bourgeois kitten. Bourgeoisie? No, just bourgeois. She was no doubt brought up with flawless etiquette and perfect table manners. At the banquet, she would have eaten the steak with a fork in her left hand and a knife in her right, like any proper French civilized animal. How could she have possibly gotten blood on her paws with such good manners?
Oh, that is a good question. Or at least it would be at any ordinary dinner banquet. But as it happens, something was missing from that particular banquet. Something that forced Dame Cataline to eat with her paws. A red herring. No, silverware. Dame Cataline was forced to eat steak with her paws because the silverware of the household had been previously stolen.
Stolen? I don't recall any mention of that in the police report.
We weren't aware of anything missing from the Raw Girl residence when we performed the initial investigation. But as it happened, Baron Raw Girl approached us about this very subject last night.
Ah!
What a twist!
What is the meaning of all this? Bloody steak, misplaced silverware. Inspector, was your investigation so lax that you overlooked these basic facts in your initial report?
Lax? My investigation? Judge, I assure you that I am the most thorough investigative officer on the force.
Then it is amazing that the Parisian police managed to solve any crimes at all.
Oh, Judge, you're making so many friends with the police.
Oh dear.
Be on your way, Inspector. Perhaps do a little inspecting for your next case.
Fine, so be it, messieurs. Until next time.
Prosecutor, I trust your next witness is ready.
Yes, of course, Your Honor. I call upon Monsieur Robitio de Monsieur Robitio Robinio, the photographer who attended the banquet on the night of the murder.
Monsieur Robitio Robinio, please approach the stand and recite the oath.
How does it go? Oh dear. How does it go? I swear to speak without hatred and without fear, to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
It's a little cliche, to be perfectly honest.
Could the witness introduce himself for the court record?
As if anybody in this court doesn't immediately recognize me. I am the great Monsieur Robitio Robinio, cutting-edge photographer and visionary. I don't just take people's pictures, I capture their very essence. Je suis l'artiste. Tu es une pipe. Pipe? You're a pipe? Okay. You may have seen my works in hip magazines, La Branche or C'est Choulette. I can send you tweets if you like. What on earth is a tweet?
Bird-to-bird communication. Come on, Falcon, it's the 19th century. Get with the times already. I need to take a drink.
No, my tea is empty. Sad day.
Yes, your works are very impressive, Monsieur Robinio. Robin. But let's get down to business. Could you tell us your activities on the night of the murder?
Very well. I was hired by Baron Roggerl to capture the evening's events. I arrived at 7 in the evening. I pointed to my camera, captured the beauty of the banquet in one fantastic photograph. Then I billed Baron Roggerl and left. Like a true artist.
And with regards to the photograph itself, who did you photograph?
We thought you might ask. I brought a copy so that you could all see for yourselves. I changed my accent. I'm sorry.
My word, this is an exquisite picture, isn't it? So let's see, who do we have here? In the middle, we see Baron Roggerl, the lion who hosted the event. On the left, we see Seigneur Berthois de Miao, the father of the defendant, Dame Cataline. And finally, we see the housemaid, Caroline de Hout, who I suspect may have snuck into the picture uninvited. Well, I mean, if it's a posed picture, I mean, it takes time to set up. She would have been standing there the entire time. I think Mr. Roggerl has a thing for his housemaid. As you can see, two people are clearly absent from the photograph. The first is the victim, Monsieur Grenouille. The second is the defendant, Dame Cataline de Miao. Quite suspicious, wouldn't you agree? Suspicious. Suspicious.
Just a moment, Monsieur Robington. This proves nothing. So the defendant and the victim were not photographed with the others. That doesn't mean that they were in the garden together at that point.
Hold your horses, Falcon. I'm not done yet.
The prosecution may continue.
Behind the photograph subjects, we see a wall clock with the time set at 7:30. Yes. Now, why is that time significant? Well, as Inspector Folierti told us earlier, that was the exact time the murder took place. Do you see, Falcon? Every suspect has an alibi at the time of the murder, save for Dame Cataline herself.
Falcon, something is fishy. In the jail cell, Dame Cataline told us she was present when the photograph took place, but I don't see her in Robinho's photograph.
That's true, but I can't use Dame Cataline's testimony as evidence. It has too little weight. If I want to prove that Monsieur Robinho's photograph is not a valid piece of evidence, I will have to dish out some evidence of my own. Your Honor, I would like to cross-examine the witness.
Very well. The defense may proceed.
It's a waste of time if you ask me. Photographs are rock-solid evidence.
Dun dun dun! Monsieur Robinho, you say that you arrived at 7 o'clock. Give or take a couple of minutes, yes. How do you know that you arrived at 7? Well, the clock in my house read 6:45 when I left, and the walk to Chateau Crenier was about 15 minutes. I don't claim to be a flawless timekeeper, but I am a professional. I always stick to an appointment. Sure. How long did it take to set up? Yes, how long did it take to set up your camera? It took perhaps 25 minutes to find a shooting location, put together the camera, and ready the film. Except that Baron insisted on that lobby thing. So you arrived at 7, and the photograph took place at 7:30, and you spent 25 minutes setting up. That leaves 5 minutes unaccounted for. Falcon, surely you aren't suggesting that Monsieur Robinho did something nefarious in this small window of time? No. Not at all. I'm just trying to piece together the evening's events. I spent a little time talking with the Baron Roggerl when I arrived. That's probably where the rest of the time went. No, I don't think so. What about your camera? I would like to ask about the camera itself. Go on. Another cat has arrived. How exactly does it work, I guess? Yes, Wilson, I'm asking about a camera. How exactly does the camera work?
I am afraid that is a patented trade secret.
Oh, but it's a mechanical device. You point it at something, and it clicks and whirs and shoots out a photograph?
Well, that's quite a crass explanation. It's true that I point and click the camera, but that only creates a negative, a prototype of sorts. Then I have to develop the photograph, and that takes time.
How much time exactly?
Around 4 days. The photograph is hot off the press, if you will.
I suppose that does explain why the Baron hasn't received his photograph yet. Yes. Can a camera make mistakes? Can a camera ever make mistakes?
Now there's a question only an imbecilic, technophobic Philistine would ask. No, monsieur, the camera is a flawless device. My photographs offer a perfect reflection of reality. Nothing more, nothing less.
So, if there was an inconsistency between a photograph and reality, what would that imply?
An odd question. I don't think such a thing could ever be possible.
But if one were to see such a thing...
Falcon, stop dancing around the point and tell us what you're trying to get at.
There is a mistake in the photograph. I see a mistake in the photograph.
A mistake? Impossible. I just told you, monsieur. The camera is a perfect, unbiased device. The photographs it produces are flawless.
Falcon, I'm not seeing any mistakes. Perhaps you could be more specific?
Certainly.
Certainly.
Beep. Oh, good.
Boop.
The clock in this photograph. There is something not right about it.
Well, isn't that convenient? The defense sees something wrong with the key piece of evidence that implicates his client.
Don't give me that cocky tone, Monsieur Rabington. I have evidence that there is something wrong with the clock in that picture. There we go.
No hands. Barred.
The photograph clearly shows the clock's hands pointing at 7 and 6.
That much is self-evident.
Which is most curious, because the clock in the lounge of Chateau Crenier has no hands.
It has no hands.
The clock is merely a decorative piece, a talking item. Feel free to ask Baron Rorrel or his housemaid if you have doubts. Monsieur Robinho, how do you explain this discrepancy?
I don't know. There must be some sort of mistake. My camera is flawless.
There is no mistake, monsieur. Your photograph depicts something that does not exist in the real world.
Ghosts.
Maybe there was an error in the printing process that
Miraculously put 2 hands on a clock in the exact position of the time that would... Anyway, an error precisely where the clock's hand should be? Please, monsieur, don't patronize us. Allow me to offer a more plausible explanation. You, Monsieur Robinho, edited this photograph. You used Photoshop.
edited.
I'm no expert, but I suspect that you used paint or ink to carefully put hands on the clock. It would have been a simple task, considering that the clock's face was bare. One could even speculate that you specifically chose to include a handless clock in the photograph just to simplify the editing process.
Aye.
Falcon, your reasoning is absurd. Why would the witness do such a thing?
Is it not obvious? By showing the photograph to have taken place at precisely 7:30, it clears all the photograph's subjects of suspicion. In other words, Monsieur Robinho created a perfect alibi. Of course, this raises further questions. Who is the witness protecting? And why? Was Monsieur Robinho coerced, bribed, threatened? Enough silence. Let's hear some answers, Monsieur Robinho.
Oh, fine, you've got me. I'm guilty, I did it all.
You did it! You're confessing to the murder of Monsieur Grenouille.
What? No. I have no idea who killed the frog. I'm just admitting that I'm guilty of producing fraudulent photographs. Fraudulent. There we go.
I was ordered to make changes to the printed photographs, and yes, that included adding hands to the clock.
You were ordered? By whom?
I dare not say.
Monsieur Robinho, I strongly advise you to answer the defense's question. You have pledged to speak without fear, after all.
With respect, Judge, I fear his claws more than I fear the punishment of the justice system. I shall name no names.
His claws. Did you hear that, Falcon?
That is most unfortunate. Monsieur Robinho, we cannot and shall not torture names out of you. We don't live under the Ancien Regime, after all. But since you have admitted to falsifying evidence, then we cannot keep you on the stand as a witness. Take your leave. You shall be charged with perjury in due course.
I can't protest. That's the least I deserve for my failure as an artist. Good day, messieurs. Well, that was... Yes. Very good, yes. Jolly good, that man.